Ah, my crumpets. Welcome once again. Today we're talking about ethics and wisdom. Of course, two old friends who walk hand in hand down the endless and crooked path of existence. You see, ethics without wisdom is like painting by numbers. Technically correct, but lacking soul. And of course, wisdom without ethics, that is just cruelty trying to be clever. That's not for us, my kittens. It must be said, you need both ethics and wisdom. Like paint for a canvas, or maybe snacks for cats. Ethics say, don't lie. Wisdom whispers, speak truth with timing and tenderness. Ethics declares, be fair, and wisdom asks, what does fairness look like here, now, when shrouded in shadows of complexity? When you live with both ethics and wisdom, your presence becomes trustworthy, meaningful, magnetic even. Your words carry weight when you speak them with wisdom, because you see the world aches for people like that. Wise ones who don't chase applause, but who appreciate meaningful actions. Friends who listen before judging and end up helping you sincerely. Lovers who cherish the present moment more than they seek to conquer hearts. I would argue that ethics with wisdom echoes louder and longer than we know. Perhaps in this way we can find a shortcut, or wholly avoid the suffering sometimes required in order to become wise. Gather round, my delightful dreamers. Let me tell you about that time I traveled around Europe during the Renaissance. My companion? A painter so brilliant, so tortured, he made most look like they were only doodling doo-doo on scraps of toilet paper. Yes, we found one another in Rome. After roaming about one day, when I was nestled inside the shadows of a chapel, silently critiquing frescoes, and he liked my tastes and appreciated my silence. And me? I liked his wine and found his existential despair intriguing. We seemed a match made in dysfunctional heaven, or perhaps even some kind of hell. In any case, space, time, or place, we wandered from south to north, then east to west, eventually meandering our way to a small village in the hills. It was here my artist friend was commissioned to paint a portrait. It was of a nobleman's daughter. The girl was plain, not ugly, not beautiful either, at least not by the standards of the day. She was simply pure, real, with an authentic soul that shone bright through her eyes and smile. However, her superficial father was obsessed with the idea that her portrait should be more forgiving with her features. He wanted a dishonest depiction on canvas, reflecting exaggerated elegance, undeniable nobility, whatever that is, and radiant grace. To his credit, my friend had sworn never to be dishonest with his works. However, he was tempted by the weighty pouch of coin. Truly, both our bellies grumbled in agonizing agreement. It was at that moment he asked me, Koshka, should I paint her as she is, or as her father wishes to remember her? And I said, what is good art if it betrays the subject? What good is beauty if it silences the truth? And after all, is true beauty nothing more than a memory left behind? From this he found the courage to be true to himself and to her. He captured a part of her soul that I do not think she even knew existed. Those enchanting eyes, with crooked teeth and all. The nobleman was perhaps more upset than he should have been. And as you might have guessed, we were cast out of the village to sleep once again under the stars. Yes, it was months, maybe years later, we met the once enraged nobleman from the village. He was forlorn, seeing as his daughter had died of a terrible illness. And her father, in his grief, found only solace in the painting my friend had done. He had commissioned a different artist who presented a painting where she was near unrecognizable. The father threw that one out. He confessed to my friend that his work had helped him to remember his daughter's true being, her true beauty, who she really was, how beautiful she was to him, how inspiring, all throughout her bittersweet and unfortunately short life. Indeed, the sincere reflection of imperfection, with a beauty unknown hidden deep beneath each brushstroke, had filled the father with regret more than sorrow. He said, "Of all the works I own from masters both known and unknown, your painting of my daughter is the most beautiful thing I possess." My friend wept quietly. I soaked in the silence, pleased with the wisdom and the ethics of my friend, proud he had the courage to be true to himself and his beliefs. The lesson? Ethics in art, in life, in love. It may not always reward you immediately, but the truth painted wisely endures longer than memory. You are a living piece of art, my sweet cupcakes. Every act a brushstroke, every word adding color. Your wisdom bringing depth, perspective, and texture and joy. Always remember to ask yourself in every moment, every situation or choice, is this kind? Is this true? Is this helpful? Is this wise? All right, you have waited patiently. Now prepare to groan. Why did the artist die of thirst by the well? Because he didn't know how to draw water. My lovely cupcakes, my sweet wandering souls. I hope you found some wisdom. Please be liking and subscribing and commenting. What do you have to say about ethics without wisdom? Anything? Everything? Don't be shy. I, as always, wish you much peace, love, and harmony. Ciao for meow. Mwah. Rock, rock, rock.